Hey, welcome to the Motormouth YouTube channel. I'm Zach.
I'm Andrea.
And we've got a couple of heavy hitters in this comparison. Who's fighting who?
Toyota Grand Highlander versus the new Hyundai Palisade. You know, on Instagram, when we posted about the new Palisade, boy, there were a lot of questions about these two. How do they compare? So Zach and I thought, how about a comparison?
The good news is these are two of the biggest in the mid-size three-row SUV space. They're both available with regular gas and hybrid powertrains.
The Grand Highlander has three powertrain options, one gas and two hybrids. The gas model is a 2.4-liter turbocharged four-cylinder with an 8-speed automatic transmission, 265 horsepower and 310 pound-feet of torque. Standard all-wheel drive in Canada. In the US, front-wheel drive and all-wheel drive options are available.
The Palisade has two powertrains for 2026. It has a gas 3.5-liter V6 with an 8-speed automatic transmission, 287 horsepower, 260 pound-feet of torque. In Canada, you get standard all-wheel drive. In the US, all trims except their new XRT Pro comes standard with front-wheel drive and all-wheel drive options.
Now, the Grand Highlander base hybrid is a 2.5-liter four-cylinder. It's matched to an ECVT and gets a combined 243 horsepower. In Canada, standard electronic on-demand all-wheel drive. In the US, front-wheel drive and all-wheel drive options are available. The official EPA range numbers are 996 kilometers, 619 miles to each fill.
There is only one hybrid for the Palisade. It's a 2.5-liter turbocharged four-cylinder with a 6-speed automatic transmission, 329 horsepower, 339 pound-feet of torque. In Canada, it's standard all-wheel drive. In the US, front and all-wheel drive options are available. It has an estimated 996 kilometers or 619 miles of range. This will arrive at dealerships in the fall.
Now, the numbers that I gave for the Grand Highlander 2.5-liter hybrid to a full tank of gas are EPA numbers. The numbers that Zach just stated are estimated numbers for the Palisade hybrid. I do find it interesting that they are exactly the same when Toyota uses an ECVT, which should deliver better fuel economy, but it's a wait and see for the Palisade hybrid.
Well, the EPA numbers, a lot of them are self-certified, right? So the brands certify. So when you see those estimates from brands, they're often pretty much what they're going to be. Now, there's one hybrid that Hyundai doesn't have that Toyota does have.
This is actually one of my favorite powertrains for the Grand Highlander, and it's the powerful Hybrid Max. It's a 2.4-liter turbocharged four-cylinder with a 6-speed automatic transmission. It gets a combined 362 horsepower and 400 pound-feet of torque. Standard full-time electronic all-wheel drive. The official EPA range numbers are 747 kilometers, 464 miles to a full tank.
Now, the good news is, whether it's the gas or the hybrid, you can use regular fuel in both the Palisade and the Grand Highlander. So back to that more powerful Hybrid Max. The horsepower for the Palisade hybrid is just a little bit down from that more powerful one, but they're claiming they're going to get fuel economy the same as the 2.5-liter base hybrid for Grand Highlander. We're going to have to wait and see on that, but if they can work that magic potion, that'll be impressive.
Yeah, that would be incredible, especially using an automatic transmission. I would say that the Hybrid Max really blends that performance and fuel economy, but if you're really just driven by fuel economy, the 2.5-liter hybrid in the Grand Highlander would be your better option.
Okay, then you get to the gas models. So Palisade comes to market with a 3.5-liter V6. They've downsized the engine from the previous model, which was 3.8. The good news is power is almost exactly the same and fuel economy is the same as the previous model. Over at Toyota, they've got a 2.4-liter turbo four-cylinder. I'm here to say that I actually because I like getting the least expensive version. That model really speaks to me. Whenever I drive it, I'm impressed with the power, the torque delivery. It's got a regular automatic transmission, but there's something to be said for a real V6.
I agree. I think that 2.4 liter turbo is really quite a good powertrain. I think that people, when they hear about Turbo 4s, they worry about long-term reliability, and if they're towing quite a bit, they worry about that too, and they then lean towards more of a V6. These Turbo 4s are newer with these larger vehicles, so I would say it's probably a wait and see for longevity. Now, keep in mind with the Palisade, there are also 2 new powertrains, so a bit of a wait and see there. For me, after driving the gas model powertrain, I would say that Zach feels the same way. It's definitely tuned for comfort and refinement. Whereas with the Grand Highlander and the Hybrid Max, you do get a slightly more engaging drive because of the performance it offers for such a large vehicle.
One major differentiator between Palisade and Grand Highlander is Hyundai has added a new trim called the XRT Pro that gives you the dark elements and kind of an off-road ready look, but it does come with some mechanical changes.
Yeah, which is good. At least it's a little bit more capable. An inch extra ground clearance compared to other trims, a rear electronic limited slip differential, ground view monitor, off-road mode, tow mode, an OEM tow hitch, and then front and rear recovery hooks.
Yeah, it's got a more off-road rugged look. We know that a lot of people won't take them off-road, but this trend is definitely taking off in the auto industry, and it's nice that it's available. Okay, so let's turn our attention to what everyone's here for, and that is just how big are these? One is called Grand, so you know it's big.
Grande.
And the interior, because that's what you buy a vehicle like this for. You're spending time on the inside with your family, your pets, all your stuff. So why don't we start off with the dimensions, because on paper, Hyundai claims that their new Palisade is as big as a lot of the other competitors, but having sat in all 3 rows, I still think the Grande Highlander is a little bigger.
Now, Hyundai did say when we sat through a presentation that the Palisade is bigger, but it was based on interior volume.
Yeah, the whole space on the inside. But when you actually break it down row by row, Grande's bigger.
Grande's bigger. The Grand Highlander does win in a few areas. Comparing front row legroom, it's very similar. Second row legroom is where the Palisade shines, offering an extra 3.5 inches of legroom compared to the Toyota. Third row legroom, on the other hand, is where the Grand Highlander wins, with an extra 1.4 inches of legroom.
And then there's cargo space. The Grand Highlander wins in cargo space in all 3 areas. It's just a bigger vehicle. Behind the third row, you get an extra 1.6 cubic feet. Behind the second row, you get an extra 11.6 cubic feet, and overall cargo space an extra 10.8 cubic feet. So yes, they spun it in their favor in the presentation using a big number, but I just noticed lifting up the liftgate of the new Palisade versus the Grand Highlander, just the space behind the third row when it's up. I just thought Grand Highlander was bigger. Yeah. And in the third row, Grand Highlander definitely is roomier. But if you're somebody that uses the second row most of the time, which is most people, Palisade's big.
It is big. It offers a very comfortable second and third row. But I have to say, it's even the features that this new Palisade has. Hyundai brought their A game. I mean, they just took the Palisade to a whole other level, blurring the lines between luxury and non-luxury when it comes to interior.
Did they ever? I mean, it's not even close.
No.
You look at the Grand Highlander, which is classic Toyota interior design, which we call kind of industrial. I know Andrea likes that high-performance Hybrid Max model. It really is just a sort of a slightly different colors and textures. They're all very basic looking. And then I'll show you images right now of the Palisade. It does look like a luxury product on the higher end trims.
Yeah, and using Napa leather upholstery on that top trim. You don't see a lot of brands using Napa leather anymore in the non-luxury category. As far as I remember, I think it's only Mazda with the CX-90 and CX-70 on that top trim.
One thing we forgot to mention about the third row. Okay, so all the seats are power operated on the top trim on Palisade. Not the case with the Grand Highlander.
No.
And then the extra trick, because it's got power at the third row, they have the seat actually slide fore and aft on Palisade. I don't think it's something you're going to use all the time, but it is definitely a cool little party trick that the third row slides fore and aft and reclines, all power operated, and you can fold them all down from the very back without having to climb in the vehicle. As the guy who shot it all, I found that convenient.
Yeah, I bet. And, also the second row in the Palisade, ventilated seats, heated seats. The third row has heated seats. They're now offering a dash cam front and rear. That's only standard on the top trim, but Hyundai says maybe if there's a lot of interest, they could add it as an a la carte item to other trims as more and more people are looking for dash cams.
I think they are. I think, I mean, why not? The cameras are there, might as well use them. One other thing is, it sounds like a small thing, but trust me, it's got a 100-watt charger for your phone.
I know.
100 watts is like, that's going to be charged in no time. If you just use the wireless pad, it's a much lower, but if you plug it in, 100 watts, baby. A lot of power.
It's a lot of power. Now, also standard features for the Palisade. You've got dual 12.3-inch screens. Toyota does offer a 12.3-inch touchscreen on the base model, a 7-inch driver display, but an available 12.3-inch digital driver display. I just feel like there's just so many features for the value that the Palisade offers. It's priced quite well. I would say, I have to say I disagree with Zach when it comes to the Grand Highlander Hybrid Max interior. We do not agree on this whatsoever. But
okay, I'm just going to say, I'm going to put a picture of both. The base model and then your Hybrid Max, and other than the color, it's pretty much the same.
For those who have sat in both, I am confident that you will agree with me. When you look at the pictures, it just doesn't do it justice, the Hybrid Max. But when you get in it and you start feeling around, there is a difference. It definitely feels more Lexus-like. And I said to Toyota, when we saw that Grand Highlander Hybrid Max powertrain, I said, wow, this is another level for Toyota, which I like to say too, that they offer more of a practical interior.
Yeah, but you know what? Even with that, I totally disagree with Andrew on this. I think they're pretty much the same, just slightly different colors. When you compare it to what Hyundai's offering with the new Palisade, it's not even in the same
Night
ballpark.
and day.
It's not even close.
No.
Okay, so we've touched on a lot of the interior. You're going to decide which one you like. But what about the outside? Because I would say Grand Highlander, it's a good looking rig from Toyota. They made it look chiseled and substantial, and it's got a presence on the road, but it looks nothing like Palisade.
It definitely has a Range Rover vibe to it. It looks good, like as if you're getting a luxury vehicle, and it's the same with the interior. I would say even, with some BMWs, it's a much nicer interior than what they're putting out now.
Well, the Koreans are just bringing their game. I mean, the one thing that they do well with their interior, I'm just going to finish my thoughts on this, is the ergonomics of the car is very well done. Toyota does a good job as well. Hyundai still has a lot of buttons that are actual hard keys or capacitive buttons, and they have this unique thing with the center armrest where you can rest your arm on the armrest and still use all those hot keys. So that is definitely attractive to people like me who still like buttons.
Yeah.
I think the research shows people like buttons. They've got lots of them in there.
And Toyota's got lots of buttons too. So we want that ease of use with an interior. What Toyota does have is reliability, dependability. Their name stands for that. And that's not only important to Toyota, but it's important to consumers.
I can hear the clickety-clack of people on the keyboard right now, but one's a Hyundai and the other one's a Toyota. Yeah, we get that. But what they're offering at Hyundai is definitely compelling. It's going to, they really push the market. Toyota just does what Toyota does. They produce high quality vehicles, fuel efficient vehicles, fairly well designed vehicles, and that just kind of work. And 3 powertrain options for them, that's definitely a plus. So you want to get into the pricing and all that, because it's quite interesting to see on the higher end trims, they line up.
So what we're going to do with the pricing, because there are a load of trims to go through, through is we're going to put it all on the screen for you. You can pause,
Read it,
read
take a
it.
picture of it, memorize it.
Yep.
Did you memorize all of that? Because if you look at the pricing of the Grand Highlander and then the new Palisade, they match up almost dollar for dollar. It's crazy how aggressive they both are on price.
And although that Hybrid Max powertrain does offer more power, you're getting way more features, these new available features in the Palisade.
Yeah. So you've got one that's got all the brand loyalty and two hybrid options and, you know, simple or design. And then you've got one that has two powertrain options and they threw everything at it.
Yes.
For the same price.
Now we're going to put the fuel economy numbers on the screen as well. We're not going to take you all through it because it's a lot to take in. So pause, browse, stay on it as long as you want.
Memorize. There'll be a quiz later.
As for towing, the Grand Highlander gas model and Hybrid Max can tow 5,000 pounds, and the 2.5-liter hybrid 3,500 pounds.
Towing capacity for the Palisade is 5,000 pounds for the V6 and 4,000 for the hybrid.
Toyota offers a warranty of 3 years or 60,000 kilometers, 36,000 miles. In the US, complimentary scheduled maintenance is offered for 2 years or 25,000 miles.
Hyundai offers a warranty of 5 years, 100,000 kilometers or 60,000 miles.
Now, Toyota and Hyundai have both done a very good job with electrification. Toyota focused more on hybrids with one battery electric vehicle, and Hyundai's got kind of a lineup of everything.
Okay, so there it is. It's Palisade and Grand Highlander. One slightly bigger, one more luxurious. What do you guys think of that? Right below, we're going to read all the comments.
Well, we'd love to hear what one would you pick today if you were in the market for a large 3-row SUV.
Thanks for watching.
See you next time.